like, how would you describe your sound? Because it's definitely like something that you can tell is being like curated by you, you know. It's not like, okay, we're gonna make some R&B tunes or something, you know. It's definitely seems like it's more organic than that. And how would you describe it? Like, you know, what do you say that if someone had never heard of your music or had never heard it, what would you describe it?
You know, it's fun. I was just having this conversation with somebody, and I wish I could answer this question, because I was telling somebody how, especially now, since I've been producing a lot of my beats, I was like, I don't think I'm comfortable with somebody calling me an R&B artist. I don't think I like that no more, because it's like, it's so much more than that. Not even so much more, because R&B is life, but it's tied into so much. It's so much more tied into it, and I think,
you know, it's a lot of people who have been having that. Like, I think especially like as Black women, you know, like when we come out with music, everybody calls it R&B.
Right.
Like, for a lot of reasons, right? Obviously, because, you know, we be up in here with this R&B, like, it's us.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, we are the poster child, but yeah, like a lot of Black artists, like when we're coming out with some other kind of sound, like anything, everyone calls it R&B. It's like alternative R&B, pop R&B, like everything is like, but they put the R&B in there, and like,
yeah, they got to slot it in there.
Yeah, it's not everything is R&B, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to say, like, what I would, like, a lot of times when I do try to explain my music or my sound to people, I'm more so describe the lyrics versus the sound. So when people say like, oh, like what it makes you feel versus like what it sounds like. So yeah, and to be honest, I think it's so much harder for me to explain like what my sound is now, because the sound that I'm working on now, or the sound that I'm curating now, is so it's heavily influenced by a lot of what I listen to.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I listen to is like indie electronic, indie pop, indie electro pop, of course R&B, hip hop, things like that. But it's hyper influenced by more than just R&B and hip hop. It's influenced by a lot of different things, a lot of different sounds, a lot of different emotions. So yeah, as of lately, it's definitely been a struggle for me to like say, oh yeah, hey, I am a R&B singer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I say it with like a bunch of question marks, like, yeah. So
a lot of ish on there.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've been kind of having the same thing, because
I was going to say that you probably always had the same issue too, because I've never seen you as an R&B artist. Granted, your voice has that R&B
kind of ish.
You know what I mean? But your sound, like your production, I don't know. That's like spaceship. Your sound is so like astrological. I haven't know, like, your sound puts me in a space.
Astrological, that's the one.
I can't explain it. I just be like, is this real? Like, am I hearing this? Like, why is this touching parts of my soul that I've never felt before? I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I know you probably had the same issue as far as Did you place yourself?
Like R&B. It's like, I mean, I guess right, the spirit of R&B is like, it's about tapping into like that emotion, right?
Right.
Like being able to tap into that blues, you know. And I think maybe that's why people pin R&B onto Black women singers a lot, because Black women just, you know, we come from the soul, you know, with everything, no matter what the category is. But I think it is like, it's kind of showing that there's multiple layers to it anyway. So, because when people say like not just R&B, like what is R&B now, you know? I think it's kind of the same thing that's been happening with hip hop. Like you have a certain idea of hip hop, and there's been a lot of debates about like what is hip hop, what's real hip hop, or you know what I'm saying, with all the new different like subgenres and styles coming out, kind of challenging like that one track of like what it is, you know?
Right.
And I think music, like, have you ever seen the YouTube show, the Color shows?
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of starting with that, right? Like, instead of it's like, okay, this is the genre, it's like, no, this is the mood, you know?
Right.
Like, the mood of that music.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand. I've discovered a couple artists off of the Color show, and they're all like I don't think I've seen a bad Colors episode. Like,
they have some really good people on there. Like they don't miss the mark. I love them so much. I found a lot of people on there too. I think that like that's where music is shifting to, and I like it, you know, like as an artist too. Like I think we're more than just like the few labels that we have, and I think that was built from like the marketing industry, you know, because it's like they want to market you as a pop artist, and they want to like put these little stereotypes in there to make it easy to make money, you know. It's like so much more than that, because it is art, and you know, it changes and it expands, and like maybe I want to make an R&B album, and then maybe next time I'm gonna make something that's like cross genre, or maybe I want to make some punk, like, you know.
That's so funny that you said that, because I had 2 points. One, this conversation, it reminds me of one of my favorite artists, Tinashe. She went on like this crazy, it wasn't like a crazy rant, but she went on like this rant on Twitter about how she's tired of people like boxing her in and like trying to call her an R&B artist, a pop artist, because she's Black and all these things like that. And she was saying like how her goal is to abolish genres, and I'm like, I like that. You know what I mean? I like it.
Yeah, because it's only there just to force us to stay in a box and not be able to jump into each other's lanes. Like, I mean, genres, they don't really exist that much anyway. Like every time you listening to somebody, you be like, ooh, what is this? Like me and Pat get into debates every day. Well, not debates, but we're always like, is this hip hop or is this punk? Like you listen to so much like punk, and like some of these rock artists are just like rapping. Like you're like, hold up, this sounded real hip hop-ish right now. Like,
and then like it's crazy how you like we've evolved to like as far as like white pop artists and white punk artists, that they've evolved to the heavy inclusion of like these heavy 808s in their songs. You know what I mean? So it's like you said, it's genres is little stuff like that could turn your song from a punk song or a pop song or a rock song to a whole hip hop song. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's funny that we talk about this, because I was just telling a friend of mine that I wanted to do a rock song, and I was like, I want to do a rock song. I need to find a band. So
you're like, let me start a whole new endeavor.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be my next goal. That's
gonna be your July, August.
Yeah, right. So I'm gonna pop out with a rock song.
And it's so relatable too, you know what I'm saying? Like it just the mood is there, you know, like how we were talking about, like, okay, like, you know, it's just a vibe, you know, it's a mood. You can kind of listen to each of your projects kind of in succession, and though they like kind of build in the sound and everything, you can just keep listening. Like I think that's when you know you made a good project, and you could just play it from like start to finish, and you don't gotta skip a song. You know, you just be like, ooh, what's next? Like you just be vibing. We played your whole like Spotify catalog like all the way through, and we were like, okay, this is what's up still. You know, I knew it was what was up, but you know how to
yeah. No, it is kind of surreal, like having like a fan base. It's still small, super small, but the fact that like I have people like, you know, hitting me, like random people just like hit me up like, yeah, I searched for you. I've been listening to you on Spotify and I searched for your socials and I'm glad I found you and I love your music. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, right, like I just be chilling. Like,
right, just doing you. Like
this is it right here. Like there's no glamour, there's no glitz. It's just me and my little microphone. So
right.
I'm glad that people you know, I'm glad that people enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what people can connect to the most, because it feels like that, you know, like I think when people, that's the difference between like when you have people who are, although we are artists and we want to get paid, right, to like make our music, because it'd be great to be able to make a living doing what you love to do. Right. But when you come across those artists, you know, like yourself, who it's just me and my mic, you know, like it's just me doing me, and this is just some version of me that you found, you know, that you feel like you're connecting with, you know, like I think it's beautiful because people want to be able to do that. I think that's what draws people to artists, you know, people who aren't necessarily artists in that way themselves, because I think everyone's an artist, but like people who aren't like musicians or filmmakers, the reason why they're like drawn to the work is because people want to connect with people in an authentic way. Like they want to get to know who each other is, but I think society makes it so awkward for people to like be vulnerable and like be comfortable with who they are and not always be looking to be something else, you know. Well, okay, so here is the segment of the show. This is a great segue. Here is the segment of the show where I get to ask you random questions for your fans and future fans, so they can stumble across this video and completely stand and be like, I know Elle Cook's favorite insert thing here.
Oh my gosh,
what's your favorite day of the week?
My favorite day of the week? Sunday. I like Sundays. They're really chill. So.
Okay, favorite food?
Right now, Lox bagels. The bagels with the smoked salmon and the cream cheese.
Oh.
I eat all that is gonna make me fat, but I eat it like 4 times a week.
You're like, okay, is it time?
Right. Because oh my gosh.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, I was guessing zodiac signs in the last episode. I don't know if it's like, usually I be good at it. Now let me say that again. Whoever was watching the last video, y'all heard me say it before, and I was struggling a little bit. But in my defense, that was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hey, that was my first time meeting them people, so don't do that, because usually I be right. I be usually getting it right. But I don't know. I'm just put a disclaimer in front of there, because if I'm wrong, you know, it's okay, because it's a rusty day. Now let me try to guess. Okay, I'm gonna just try to see if I can just guess the element. Okay. Stares awkwardly.
Let me make sure I don't got nothing in my background.
Right, I'm like, what you got up in here? Like girl, I don't know. Let me see. Let me just throw something out there. I don't know. Earth? Mm-hmm. It's Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody at home, don't be hating on me because I got it right a little bit.
Yep, you got it right.
Let me see.
Oh my God, I'm smiling so hard because this is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Earth. Okay, so there's 3. Obviously, there's 3. What is the Earth? Capricorn, Taurus, and fucking Virgo. Taurus?
Yep.